The acrylic-based etching ground system offers a unique possibility of combining soft and hard grounds. The etching ground consists of a water-based ink for block prints mixed with an acrylic binder. The amount of binder that is mixed into the ink decides the time required for hardening and drying. This mixture contains 1/3 binder and 2/3 ink, which has to harden for approximately 20 minutes in the drying cabinet. Without the binder, the etching ground takes 5 hours to harden. Mix the binder and the ink thoroughly on a glass plate. The result must be a thick, even substance which doesn't curdle. It's important to dry and harden the acrylic-based etching grounds using heat. Only in this way will the acrylic polymer molecules bind and form an etching ground which can be etched indefinitely without breaking up. Finally, roll the etching ground evenly onto the glass plate, first as a relatively thick layer, which is used as a reservoir, then as a thin, dry layer. From the glass plate, roll the etching ground onto the copper plate from all sides and in thin coats. A glimpse of copper should be visible through the translucent surface. The plate can now be used as a soft ground, or it can be hardened to a hard ground. The ink roller must be cleaned immediately after use with a soft sponge and lukewarm water and detergent. This plate was placed in the drying cabinet for approximately 20 minutes, and the hardening produced a hard ground on which all the usual art tools can be used. If you want a soft ground, leave the plate with the wet ground in room temperature for 10 to 15 minutes, just enough to dry its surface a little. It will then be suitable for soft ground drawings. You can also press objects into its surface. Soft ground drawings can be made on a sheet of soft paper which absorbs the ink. You can also paint directly into the soft ground with demineralized water. Or you can use various drawing tools directly in the soft ground. After 20 minutes in the drying cabinet, it becomes a hard ground, which can either be worked further or etched right away. Of course, you can also press various objects and structures into the soft ground. The newly rolled on soft ground must be left in room temperature for 10 to 15 minutes before the surface is ready to receive these imprints. When the objects are in place, coat a piece of soft plastic foil evenly with salad oil and place it, oily side down, over the plate and the objects. Because oil repels water, the plastic foil will not stick to the soft ground. Finally, cover the whole thing with a piece of paper in case the objects perforate the plastic. Run the plate through the press. Remove the paper first, then carefully pull off the plastic. If the ink sticks to the foil, it's because there's not enough oil on it. Now place the plate in the aquatint cabinet. While the objects are still in the soft ground, spray some pigmented hard ground onto the plate. This process fills out the little holes made by the felt on the etching press or the folds in the plastic foil before the plate is etched. Spray evenly from all sides. Finally, remove the objects gently and harden the plate for 20 minutes in the drying cabinet. The soft ground now becomes a hard ground, which can either be worked further with various drawing tools or etched right away. The ground is strong enough to be etched to any depth. Here the objects have been etched for 60 minutes. A soft ground drawing with aquatint. Rolled on hard ground.